My name is Jacqueline Wilson, and I'm the Associate Principal at Richland High School. When Dr. Croy started planning the vision for our campus, he brought with him a deep understanding of the life-changing power of education. His own story of how a coach and educator transformed his life for the better is the foundation of everything he does here. He came to us with a clear vision to build a special place where we don't just educate students, but a place where we build champions for life. Dr. Croy has said, Richland will be a world-class school that provides a world-class education to every student that walks through these doors. Through his work and genuine care for the people in this building, he has inspired a team of educators and students to make Richland truly special. His unwavering commitment to every student and staff member is evident in all that he does as he pursues this vision each and every day. Thank you, Dr. Croy, for your vision, dedication, and leadership. You are a true example of what it means to be a servant leader, setting the example for all Richland Raiders. At this time, it is my honor to introduce Dr. Lute Croy, Principal of Richland High School.
Guess stole my thunder. That's pretty incredible, and I have a really great speech, if I do say so myself. We'll see how well I stick to this. But in the midst of all the flattering words, I do want you to know that today I was standing in the hallway and a young lady came up to me and asked me if I knew the principal's name. It was a true story. I have witnesses. I told her, yeah, his name is Dr. Croy, and she's like, what does he look like? And I said, a little bit like me. And she goes, oh, it's that guy in the purple shirt. That is a 100% true story. So thank you for all the kind words, and we're gonna move on. So before I go any further, though, I do want to thank all of our students, directors, coaches, everybody that made this night special. Our students are the heartbeat of everything we do here at Richland. And having so many different groups, when we sat down to plan this, they were like, what do you want this to be? And I said, I just want it to be about our kids, and I just want it to be about how special they are, because without them, this place doesn't exist. So thank you guys for being incredible. And we'll give you 2 claps later, because they already stole that from me. So, all right, so tonight's not just about dedicating a building. It's about a continuous story that began long before us and will carry on long after us. If you know the story of Prosper, you know that Richland has deep roots. I'm going to take you back. A little history lesson for those of you who have not heard before. In the mid to late 1800s, this area was settled because of its very fertile soil. There were 2 major farming communities in the area that formed. One was called Rock Hill to the south. One was called Richland to the north. 1902, the railroad came through, and those 2 communities merged together to form a town. When they applied for a post office, they applied for the name Richland, but they quickly learned that that name was already taken by Richland, Texas. So they decided on Prosper. They were inspired by the exceptionally prosperous crop yield they had that year. And at that point, the Richland School was actually torn down, and it was replaced by the Prosper School. Thankfully, that wasn't the end of the story. Maybe the name Richland was never meant to define this town. Maybe instead it was meant to define the generations of young people that are going to walk through the hallways of this magnificent building for years and years to come. Richland's no longer about the fertile soil that brought the settlers to this area over a century ago. Instead, it's now about the fertile ground of the hearts and minds and futures of these students. Our mission here at Richland is very clear. It's to ensure all students achieve the high levels of learning that is required for them to become champions in a life. If you haven't heard, that's what we do here at Richland. We build champions, not just in athletics, but in character and in community. Our students have defined what it means to be a Raider through our 7 core values: respect, accountability, integrity, determination, empathy, resilience, and service. Those words chosen by our students remind us that being a Raider isn't about where we go to school, but it's about who you become while we're here. I am so proud to be the principal at Richland High School. Our staff, our students, our community have been incredible in the way that they've embraced what we're trying to create. The vision for what this place becomes down the road is to become a bold and proud example of what education should be. Before I wrap up, there are a lot of thank yous that have to go out because of the countless hours that they spent creating this and getting this thing ready for students to show up in August. So first of all, thank you to the entire Prosper ISD community for their overwhelming support of our 2019 bond referendum that allowed us to build the nicest high school in America. Another thank you goes out to Huckabee and Associates as well as Poe Construction for what they've created here. I've been in this building for 3 months, and every time I walk through the hallway, I'm just blown away about what our kids get to experience every day. They brought to life a school that's going to foster creativity and curiosity in Raiders for generations to come. A special thank you to our Chief of Construction, Mr. Todd Shirley, and his team, who've been instrumental to the overall success in opening Richland High School. Opening this building is just the beginning of an amazing educational journey that we've already begun. I also want to recognize a group of people that most people probably haven't ever heard of. Patty Riley and her team, if you don't know who they are, you probably never will, but they set up shop in our building starting April 1st, and they received every single delivery through the end of the month of August. As you can imagine, right, that's every pencil, every basketball, every instrument, every piece of paper went through the hands of this one group of people to make sure it went to the place that it had to go so that we could open up our school. The volume of what goes into that is staggering, so what they did for us can't be overstated. Also, obviously, can't go on without recognizing members of our Prosper ISD School Board, our president, Bill Beavers, our vice president, Dina Dixon, our secretary, Tommy Van Wolf, and the rest of our trustees, Mr. Jordan Dial, Mr. Kelly Cavender, Mr. Garrett Linker, and Mr. David Webb. Thank you so much to each of you for the time, the dedication, and the unwavering support of the students and the families and the staff here at Prosper ISD. Also, I'd like to thank our incredible district leaders, our superintendent, Dr. Holly Ferguson, our deputy superintendents, Mr. Jeff Conover and Mr. Bill McLaughlin. I am so grateful for the opportunity that you guys have given me to lead Raider Nation, and I know that this day would not be possible without your vision and your support. I also want to take the moment to thank a few people that I've leaned on most throughout this process. First of all, our amazing associate principal, Jacqueline Wilson. She sat next to me for over 350 interviews as we hired our staff last spring. And the staff that we put together is just absolutely incredible. So thanks so much for doing that with me. Also, my assistant principals, I would put this team up against anybody, anywhere, anytime. Grant Bergman, Micah Evans, Kim Rodriguez, and Kelvin Newsom. They've been remarkable partners in bringing this vision to life. And then alongside them, obviously, our Richland staff and our custodial staff, the tireless effort that they've put into creating this school and creating a place that our students and our community can be proud of. We may be a brand new campus, but the sense of purpose and unity among this staff is incredible. They lead with patience, they lead with kindness, and they lead with high expectations. They challenge our students to become the very best versions of themselves every day. I am so proud to be your principal. If you are a Richland staff member, please stand and give us a wave real quick. Thank you, guys. I want to give a special thank you to my administrative support team, especially my secretary, Ms. Judith Spriggs, who is currently sitting in a Hamilton show in Manhattan right now. Well deserved, no doubt. No doubt. Schools do not function efficiently or effectively without this group of people, and this is truly the best administrative team I've ever worked with anywhere in my 23 years in education. I want to thank Prosper ISD Technology, Communications, Purchasing, Maintenance and Operation, the Construction Department, and every other district employee who helped make this day possible. We definitely would not have been ready on the first week of August without you guys. Also, I'd like to thank our PTO. They have jumped in. If you don't know, starting a PTO at a brand new school is really hard. PTO at the high school level is hard because parents have been so involved since their kids were 5 and they get to high school and they're kind of tired. So to these incredible PTO board members who have jumped in to support our students and our staff and our families, thank you so much. If you are one of our PTO board members, could you please stand? I know there's a few of them here. They may be out setting up tables. And then lastly, I'd like to thank my family for the sacrifices that they have made and continue to make to allow me to serve in this role. My children share their dad with 1,800 kids, and they never complain about it. I've been holding this in all day, y'all. I felt like I was getting married, like everybody was doing stuff. And they were like, no, we got it. And just go eat pizza. It's fine. And yeah, so Drew Crosby, I am so blessed to have two amazing kids like you. Thank you for being so patient and so gracious and for sharing me with everybody else. As for my wife, whew, y'all. Yeah. I don't even know where to begin. For nearly 25 years, she followed me. She believed in me. She chased every dream that I've ever chased without question, even when some of those dreams were real dumb. And it's a true story. It's a true story. That was her clapping. She's always had my back, and she was the first one to encourage me to pursue this opportunity. And there's no question that I wouldn't be here without you. And more importantly, I wouldn't be the man that I am today without you in my life. So, KB, I love you, and I can't imagine doing life without you by my side. Whew. Hard shift. Now I would like to welcome our school board president, Mr. Bill Beavers, to the podium.
We always joke about not following kids after they speak on stuff, because generally that's really good, but now I have followed Dr. Croy today, and he's awesome. I mean, y'all heard the reception that he got at the beginning of it. That is why we know he is absolutely the correct man for the job. Let's see here. These facilities were built with the board's vision, the community's approval of the bond referendum, and the blood, sweat, and tears of our teachers and staff. The excellence we see in our students' performances today, the dedication of our teachers and staff, and their commitment to achievement, innovation, and hard work are a testament to the legacy of leaders in Prosper ISD. I'm going to go off script real quick and tell y'all a couple other stories, kind of a history about things, because Dr. Croy, you did a great job of that this evening, and I think that it's important for y'all to know a few names as well this evening and some of the backstory. So today, we sit here right now, some of us stand, in Richland High School, and how we got here is a great story. I think back to the first person that I want to thank is in 2020, Dr. Ferguson became the superintendent of our district, and we had had great people up to that point, and really and truly, you picked up the ball and ran with it well. So thank you for bringing us to where we are today as a district. When I think about our high schools, I think back to almost 20 years ago now when we opened up the new Prosper High School at that point in time. A great building, truly awesome facility. And then what we did is we took Prosper High School, had some ideas for how we could improvement, and we made Rock Hill High School. And then we had Rock Hill High School. We saw where we could make some improvements on that, and we had Walnut Grove High School. And then we saw where we could make improvements on that, and that is Richland High School as you see it today, which, as Dr. Croy said, is one of the best high schools in all of the country, and I'm truly proud of that. And there's a particular person out there that had a large part to do with that from the beginning, and that's Mr. Joe Tremblay, and he has done an awesome job for this district for going back, I guess, almost 20 years or so. So I'm sure he is sitting out there this evening, and Joe, I want you to know how much we appreciate everything that you've done. Joe had the vision in building some of the school as it is, the design process on it. And then with Pogue Construction, Mr. Bledsoe and Mr. Colquitt Those are just two of the people at Pogue. They did an absolutely outstanding job in building these buildings that you see here today. And can't thank Pogue enough for the awesome partner that they are to us. And then last but not least, I want to thank Dr. Croy this evening that we've talked about, and y'all have seen how good he is. But Dr. Croy brought this place to life, and specifically brought it to life with the people that were just standing back here a moment ago, our faculty and staff. It's what's on the inside of this big, beautiful building that matters. And between the faculty and staff and the students that they get to serve, that is what makes this place one of the best high schools in the nation. So I want to thank you all for that. Richland High School is another example of the vision of Prosper ISD high schools. Student opportunities, college, career, military readiness. The future leaders of tomorrow will be coming out of this building, and I'm proud about that, just as you are. Richland is home to the first academic groups, cosmetology, cybersecurity, and engineering. And if you have a student that's a part of those, good, you should. Amazing things are happening there. Thank y'all so much for being here tonight, and Dr. Croy, I will turn it back over to you.
All right, I'm better now. Thanks, Mr. Beavers. We appreciate you and your service, your commitment to excellence. Behind every great school district is a great leader, and Prosper ISD has the absolute best. Dr. Ferguson first joined Prosper ISD a couple of years ago as a teacher. She has since served as a campus principal, executive director of curriculum instruction, assistant superintendent of curriculum, and associate superintendent. It was a busy couple of years. She has served as Prosper ISD superintendent since July 2020. I believe her time in the classroom as a teacher makes her especially equipped to be the kind of superintendent who keeps children and educators at the forefront of every decision we make in this district. I'm so thankful that she has allowed me to serve under her leadership, first as an instructional coach in our teaching and learning department, and then as an AP at Prosper High School, and now as your principal at Richland. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome none other than Dr. Holly Ferguson.
Thank you all, and thank you, Dr. Croy. Students, I want to talk to you for just a minute. I want you to just sit, and I want you to capture this moment, because this will never happen again. There will never be a dedication of Richland High School. There will never be students who are in the choir or the drill team or the band for the very first time, but you are those students. And as Dr. Croy has told you, you're champions, and that's been his vision from the moment that he started. So today, he made me kind of tear up when he was talking about his family, but he did the same exact thing when I interviewed him. We got down to the end of the interview, and it's probably not the best thing that I've ever done, but I thought I need to offer him the job right now. And HR would probably advise me not to do that, but they weren't there, so they didn't get a chance to tell me not to. But as he talked about what he was dreaming of for each of you, I could see it. It was the most beautiful painting I'd ever seen. And I could see each of your faces, I could see this moment, and I could see what your future was going to look like. And so I got to the moment of saying, I would really like for you to be the Richland principal. His head dropped and tears came. And that's when you know you've got a real educator, because they're passionate and they love kids with everything that they have, and they will move mountains. And they have, this whole entire team of teachers and leaders have moved mountains to ensure that you had the absolute best start on the planet. So your teachers and your administrators and your parents deserve a huge round of applause from you.